You and Diddy were cool at one time. Have y'all spoke?
I'm mad at him right now, though.
Why you mad at him now?
He went on the fucking floor crying. You stand up, you still blessed. Your mama, you everybody blessed. You don't fold like.
Well, Diddy is just a working class stiff while he's at Fort Dix.
So when you're at a prison and somebody says, you read any good books lately, Diddy is the answer.
He's the guy to go to because we got video of him at Fort Dix reporting for work in the library where he is making recommendations and handing out different movies and books for his fellow inmates.
She was a pretty face that was the boss.
And got to living with her mama with her boyfriend.
Right.
Couldn't in that house.
So now we have two people come out saying that Diddy was talking to the feds. Do you think that's true?
Whether it's true or not, and he might have been cooperative in some way, shape, or form, you
Boosie
don't get...
just snapped out of nowhere and went straight at Cassie, talking like she deserved everything Diddy did to her, and the internet has been on fire ever since. The way he said it had people wondering if he even understood what she went through or if he was just trying to stay in Diddy's good graces. What's wild is Boosie is literally the only mainstream artist standing next to Diddy right now, acting like he's riding for him out of loyalty when folks swear it's only happening because Diddy might be able to help him with a possible pardon situation behind the scenes. People online are saying Boosie ain't defending nobody unless it benefits him, and this situation is looking real suspicious.
It was a lifestyle for her. When you on X, when you on doing all this, it's a lifestyle.
Then out of nowhere, Day 26, one of the groups Diddy put together during making the band, opened up about the stuff they faced, and one of the members even broke down crying while explaining it. Instead of showing compassion or even just staying quiet, Boosie started clowning them like it was a comedy show, cracking jokes about how Diddy probably assisted all that pain they went through. People immediately started calling out Boosie's hypocrisy because he claims he's defending Diddy out of love for black artists, but then turns around and laughs at Day 26, who are also black artists dealing with real trauma. Folks are asking why it seems like Boosie only supports wealthy artists with power, but doesn't show that same energy for the ones who actually suffered in the industry. Cassie literally spoke up about her own experience, and she had the receipts to back her story up. She wasn't lying on Diddy. She wasn't making stuff up out of thin air. She showed proof. And Diddy wasn't just accused by Cassie either. Multiple women came forward, many of whom he allegedly controlled financially, which makes it even harder for them to speak out. But somehow, Boosie still believes Diddy was framed, like the drugs, the guns, and those hundreds of bottles of baby oil magically appeared by accident. How does that even make sense when it was the feds who came after Diddy, not some random blogger?
I think really,
That's one of the
Cassie just wants him dead. She wants him dead and she wants to see him get killed.
It's one of the dirtiest women that gonna ever come across this shit.
The only person responsible for Diddy's actions is Diddy. The only time Boosie actually criticized Diddy was when Diddy dropped to his knees after the verdict. Boosie clowned him for looking weak, saying a boss is supposed to stand tall, not crumble like someone who finally got caught.
Mad at him right now, though.
Why you mad at him now?
He went on the fucking floor crying at the fucking thing.
He was happy, Boosie. He was happy that the charges got.
I need to ask him, why the did you get down there under that table and that? Because I've been riding with him. I've been riding with him.
Yeah.
I've been riding with him, but you got boys in there, man. You stand up, man. God then bless you. If you're going to jail, you're going to jail for something you got away with 1,000,000 times. That's why we go to jail, if we're going to keep it real. You stand up, you're still blessed. Your mama, everybody blessed. You don't fold like no.
It's crazy because Boosie will defend Diddy against the worst accusations imaginable, but the moment Diddy shows emotion, that's when Boosie suddenly has a problem. He's fine supporting Diddy through everything else, but he draws the line at a man kneeling after hearing he's headed to prison. The real reason Boosie might be riding so hard for Diddy right now has nothing to do with friendship or loyalty. He knows Diddy has the kind of connections that could get his name in the right room fast. Boosie isn't speaking from the heart, he's playing chess, and Diddy is the piece he thinks can get him out of a federal mess. People online are saying Boosie isn't defending Diddy because he believes he's innocent. He's defending him because he wants leverage, pure and simple. He's moving like a man who's desperate to cash it in. And what makes this even more suspicious is how Boosie been acting ever since his case started. He's been walking around with this weird confidence, talking like there's no way he'll ever see a jail cell again, like he already knows the ending before the judge even speaks.
Boosie, listen, man. Mentally, how are you holding up, brother? Because we know you got
November
21st.
I'm in the best. I'm in the like I'm confident like a motherfucker. Like, you know, I ain't going to jail. I don't speak that out my mouth.
There you go. There you go.
I'm from down south. Your word, your mouth is a powerful sword.
That's right.
They nigga gonna kill me, you be dead. I'm telling you, I done seen a motherfucker gotta kill. End up dead.
That's right.
You know, so I don't speak none of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's still up to the judge. It's up to God, but it's up to the judge. You know, people saying he gotta do 2 years. That's not fact of this case. It's up to the judge what the judge want to do. But man, I'm confident, man. I'm chin up, chest high. Chin up, chest high.
It's giving somebody powerful told him he'll be fine, and that's why he's so loud and bold right now. It reminds people of what Sugi once said: when somebody in the industry starts acting like they're bigger than the law, that usually means they got some kind of protection behind the scenes. Boosie is moving with that same energy, like he knows he has a safety net the rest of the world can't see. Boosie has shown he's willing to do whatever it takes to secure that pardon. He doesn't care who he has to get close to, who he has to distance himself from, or what story he has to push. If it keeps him out of a cell, he's making the move without hesitation. And if that means becoming Diddy's loudest supporter or Cassie's harshest critic overnight, then Boosie is signing up for that role with no shame at all. Just a few months ago, Boosie pled guilty to a federal charge. One count of being a convicted felon caught with a firearm after police tracked him using social media clips that showed a weapon tucked in his waistband. A plea deal like that usually means one outcome unless something miraculous happens.
Today, rapper Boosie, whose real name is Torrance Ivy Hatch Jr., pleaded guilty to a charge of being a felon in possession of a firearm.
This charge stems from his 2023 arrest in San Diego's Choice View neighborhood, where police found the 42-year-old with 2 guns during a traffic stop. He initially planned to plead guilty for probation, but the case was then dismissed last year after a Ninth Circuit court ruled that it was unconstitutional to ban nonviolent felons from owning guns. A larger panel from that court, though, later reversed the ruling, upholding the ban. So now Boosie is set to be sentenced later this year.
And Boosie seems convinced that his miracle is Diddy, which explains why he's clinging to that alliance like his whole future depends on it. There's a wild rumor floating around that Boosie only took that guilty plea because he was trying to protect his son, Tootie, after things got real serious behind the scenes. Word is that rapper 2D Raw, who's connected to Tootie, was arrested in Atlanta back in September 2025 on some heavy gun charges involving what police described as a machine gun type weapon. And that situation shook everything up fast. People online are saying Boosie might believe that avoiding any loud attacks on Diddy and pushing certain narratives could help keep Tootie from facing the harshest outcome. And if Boosie thinks those industry connections could keep his family safe, then of course he's going to switch up how he moves. And honestly, none of this is far-fetched because Diddy moved the exact same way when he realized prison was becoming a real possibility. Folks said Diddy flipped his whole attitude instantly.
Here, I can tell you, Jesse, that this investigation's been going on for a long time, very closely held by HSI, so much so that even some of the agents on the raid a week ago today didn't know whose house they were raiding until they got there. That's how closely held this investigation.
Wow, because there could have been a tip.
Absolutely.
And there are allegations that he was paying law enforcement through his chief of security, which also happened to be Michael Jackson's chief of security.
I don't know if I buy into that. You know, people in Diddy's situation like to have those involved in law enforcement close to them. But that doesn't mean they're taking payoffs. That doesn't mean they're doing big favors. They like that closeness. It's just like how Diddy was able to court Diageo or Estee Lauder. He was very successful in doing that, and that made him a lot of money and gave him credibility outside the hip-hop rap world. And that's what he was trying to do here, a lot like what Epstein did with very powerful political and business.
Acting like he was ready to point fingers at anyone if it meant he could avoid time behind bars. Boosie seems to be following that same survival mode blueprint, choosing strategy over pride. At this point, Boosie isn't fighting for moral truth, he's fighting for control over his destiny and maybe even over the future of someone he cares about. If that means aligning himself with someone whose reputation is already in flames, then that's the move he's choosing because he sees it as a lifeline, not a friendship. To make things even crazier, Diddy has reportedly been bragging inside the facility. The idea of Diddy walking around bragging like he already has a golden ticket only makes people more suspicious about why Boosie is suddenly riding so hard for him.
I'm really fascinated just by the library
But
itself.
you're seeing him here. This is him reporting to work, taking off his jacket, taking off his scarf, and settling in for a day on the job.
It looks like a public school library.
Yeah.
It's
This was the chapel, and this is the media library in the chapel, which is where Diddy's currently working. He's working in a Life Connections program, which is an 18-month program that helps rehab people and get them closer to spirituality, to charity groups, and with that, it will shorten his sentence. But in this media library, he helps inmates with religious material, rent out movies, that kind of stuff. You see him pushing a
really
cart
interesting
with a TV on it.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the laundry room when he first got there.
Yeah,
so this got to be
his first
This
assignment.
got to be a promotion.
Yeah.
It feels like a promotion. It feels like maybe he tried the lunchroom and put in a request for something different.
Yeah, it does
I mean,
believe
he is a
it does
media
sound like
mogul.
he used maybe possibly some connections to get a better job.
Diddy is out here making promises because honestly, he doesn't have much else to offer the inmates except big talk and empty dreams. He's trying to get everybody on his side by acting like he still has power, even though his situation is slipping away fast. TMZ just dropped the first clear footage of Sean Diddy Combs inside federal prison at FCY Fort Dix in New Jersey, and the whole clip had the internet buzzing. The video showed him doing his assigned job, walking around the facility and trying to blend in while interacting with other inmates like he's still the king of something. Then came the reports that Diddy supposedly got caught drinking inside the prison, which only made everything more chaotic. Because if Diddy can't even control his own situation behind bars, if he can't stop himself from getting in trouble while serving his sentence, how is he supposed to keep Boosie out of prison? That's the part nobody can make sense of. So now the big question is this. What do you think about Boosie defending Diddy while talking down on Cassie, a woman who simply told her story and showed her evidence? Does it look like loyalty or does it look like fear and strategy? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this whole situation is getting messier by the minute. And make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the latest updates as this story keeps unfolding. See you in the next one.